Good morning and welcome to Relationship Wednesday with Coach Ellis and
Lady D.
Hey, so we've been talking about the 5 love languages that Gary Chapman was talking to us about, and we've covered all 4 of them, covered 4 of the 5, and now we're going to cover number 5. And number 5 is acts of service. So, Lady D, let's talk about this love language of acts of service.
Wow, now this is an interesting one because this one will involve some communication.
See, the important thing about all these love languages is being able to talk in the language of the person who is receiving, not the person who's giving.
Receiving.
So in your marital relationships, in all your relationships, it's a matter of talking their language. Would you agree?
I agree. And you won't know unless you have the conversation.
So in order to do this well, let's give you a few tips on how to do acts of service well with the person that you love. Number 1, you got to really ask what that means to the other person. So what do acts of services really mean to you?
Acts of service mean that I receive something from you that will impact me in a positive way.
See, and the reason that's important to have that conversation, to ask what it is, because guys, we consider acts of service what we do naturally. We go to work, we bring home the check, we provide a roof, we give them a car. Those are acts of service.
Those are good too, but
but for the purpose of having better relationships, you don't get credit for what you are supposed to be doing. Acts of service may mean something different to her.
yes. It may mean something like helping with the dishes. Not necessarily doing the dishes, but suppose we had a whole group of people over and no one stayed behind to help, but instead of going up to another part of the house, you say, "Hey, love," like he does. Yes. Let me help you with the dishes. And that's something that I actually need, something that will add to my existence. It's something that will lift me up instead of making it feel like, oh, all right, the next time we have people over, we're not going to have people over.
So acts of service in this case, by asking what it means, you get clarity on what you can do in order to meet her love language, or if you're a woman, what you can do to meet his love language, acts of service. Not only we talk about what does it mean to you, let's talk about ways to convey it. She just said, hey, maybe helping me wash dishes, maybe vacuuming the floor, maybe taking the dogs out for a walk while I get some rest, or maybe taking the kids while I simply go and take 5 minutes all by my lonesome.
Me time.
So talk about how to convey, because acts of service to me would mean,
What would that mean to you?
well, the way to convey acts of service to me would be that if I'm on a writing project, or if I'm prepping for another video or a speech, it might mean your act of service is taking notes for me as I'm talking, since I orally process. So that way, I won't remember what I said, but if you're writing it down, I get the benefit of the capture. That could vary. That's a way to convey. So first thing, ask what it means, talk about ways to convey, and remember the little things matter.
Yes.
With acts of service, your actions speak louder than your words. So the idea...
Say that again.
The actions speak louder than words.
Note, brothers, men, actions speak louder than words.
Which goes to number 4, show more than tell. Right? So if the actions speak louder than words, then show the action.
Absolutely.
You've already asked her what does it mean. We've talked about ways to convey it. You're going to do the little things and then go do it. What a concept. You might actually have the conversation, then do what you say you're going to do.
And it's vice versa for us ladies. We can't just assume that we know what he needs. We have to do the same thing so that he gets exactly what he needs from us. And we won't feel like it's an obligation or something that we will dread doing in the future. Communicate.
So part of this idea of acts of service is because you love that person, you don't feel like a servant.
Ooh.
Okay, you feel blessed to serve. You don't feel like a servant, and that's important as the receiver, that you don't make the person feel like a servant.
And what a concept that we might try to outserve each other. That's
You know,
good all the way around.
You know, and this is one of the relationship universal lessons that I think a lot of women don't. A lot of people who have the language of act of service don't get. Men will do everything you want them to do until you make them feel like they have to. And in acts of service, that's particularly important to remember to have an attitude of gratitude without overdoing it. You know, be appreciative, because you deserve the acts of service. So be appreciative, understanding that he will do for you until you make him feel like he must do for you.
And that's never a good place because, ladies, you know, sometimes we can get into that place where we feel like, oh, I got to do it again. We have to be okay within ourselves that we're honestly wanting to add to his life, you know, instead of take from it.
So, on this day, as we're talking about acts of service, ask what it means. Find out ways you can convey that act.
Yes.
Remember, the little things matter. Show more than tell. And in doing all that, be appreciative of your receiving. And understand it is a blessing to serve if you are giving.
And then there's one more thing.
What's that?
How am I doing? Feedback.
Absolutely.
How am I doing? Was that good for you? How do you feel about what I just did?
Or better yet, without having to ask, sweetie, that was great. I appreciate the way you did that. I appreciate the idea you didn't have to, but you chose to. And in doing that, we reinforce positive behaviors.
Absolutely.
And that makes for a relationship that's gooder and gooder. Gooder. Okay. Hey, this is Coach Ellis.
And this is Lady D.
Saying have a one-tabulous relationship Wednesday.
One-tabulous.
And if you want more information, hit us up at coach@elliscrum.net or on our website at elliscrum.net. So until next Wednesday, have a one-tabulous acts of service, love language Wednesday. God bless you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.